Hey everyone, my name is Jarrod Tocci and I'm bringing you an amazing tiny house that I am standing in right now. A big part of Live Small, Roam Free is all about the tiny house experience or the micro apartment living or maybe a container home or something that is just minimalist, but we can also be able to have the roaming free aspect of it, whether it's a truck camper, expedition vehicle, a van, or even just an SUV to camp in. But let's get into this tiny house and give you all the details on it right now. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different of a tour than I am used to doing, only because the owner did not want to be on camera, and I have to respect that. So hopefully all of you will respect that as well. A little bit about the house. It is right now, it is parked, not being used inside of a driveway, as you might be able to see in the footage I am showing now. It is 24 feet long by 8 feet wide, which makes it ability to take it on the street without having any type of permit. This person is located in the greater Portland area of Oregon. Now, normally I would start on the outside, but it's a little bit raining out, it's a little bit wet, so I'm just gonna try and show as much B-roll footage as I possibly can. From what I was told, there is a metal roof and there's a mixture of wood and metal siding on the outside. Personally, I love the colors that were picked for the design aspect of it. And obviously the slope of the roof is needed for any type of rain or snowfall. The metal roofing is, in my opinion, essential when it comes to any type of home, whether it's a tiny house or a traditional home, because of the snow being able to slide right off of it. All right, now we are stepping inside and I'll be able to show you guys a little bit more on the inside here. So obviously the door is right here, and oddly enough, this is very similar to when my tiny house was done, where the door placement was, and the slope of the roof is also the same as well. Just a quick run around and then we're gonna go through details. So we got the door, we have bathroom right here when you walk into the right-hand side with a storage loft that is upstairs here. We have kitchen that is right here with a galley. You have a nook down here we're gonna get into, and you have a other type of living space up here that you can access through stairs. So let's start at the front of the tiny house, which is where the bathroom is and a storage nook, and we'll go into that. So as you can see right here, there's plenty of storage here and it's really well done. This is a built-in ladder that you can access your storage at any point that you want. Interesting lighting that was chosen. I'm assuming that switch up there, you can see, turns on that light right there. And then you have a secondary lighting right here, which is just for the kitchen and the foyer area right there. And the switches are right when you enter, as you can see. The Pioneer remote control, my assumption would be for the mini split, which is also located up in the storage loft area. All right, let's step into the bathroom. An amazing room to have a washer dryer in here. It is also what I love that this person did is the washer and dryer is a split washer dryer. Me, I had an all-in-one washer dryer, and to be quite honest with you, I was not the biggest fan of it. So this person put a washer and a dryer, split unit, front load. Some people love the front load, some people love the top loading. If you want a top loading, it takes up a lot more room. So you'd have to maybe knock all this out here. So you got this big, obviously stand-in shower. If I had to guess spacage-wise, you're probably looking at 5 feet across with the full width of the tiny, about 8 feet. Small, usable sink with a mirror at the top as well, and your access to your electrical panel. We switch sides now, already talked about the washer and dryer right there, and you have the separated toilet. It has been used in the RVs, vans, and now I guess tiny homes. So as we're stepping out to the kitchen, obviously there is a pocket door right here for everybody, just for privacy. Now I know in this moment, I also know that the owner has this listed for under $70,000, which in my opinion is a great deal for a tiny house at this size-wise. The kitchen here, oddly enough, she gave me a wonderful cup of coffee, so I appreciate you, Judy, for giving me a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. The countertop for the kitchen is got to be roughly 8 feet. Wonderful fridge and freezer. And obviously your appliances here with a microwave, overhead storage cabinetry, artwork on the walls already. Obviously that's not coming with the sale. Plenty of storage down below. I love like the laminate that was used. It's a butcher block countertop, and the flooring looks like it's a vinyl plank flooring, and it's done with the grains going across the tiny. Some people like it across, some people like it elongated. You also might notice on the bottom of the galley there is no toe kick, which a lot of like traditional homes will have. Instead, in tiny houses, they like to have the space, as much space as possible in storage wise, is what I'm trying to say. So the builder ended up putting more storage bins down here at the bottom. Good idea, bad idea. It's really up to a personal preference. So here we are in the back of the tiny house, and I've only seen this done in person a couple times, and I've always been very intrigued by it. So if I had to guess, this is only about 4 feet in height, right about here. I can actually put this down, and we'll kind of maybe stand over here, and we'll actually do a little find out for everybody. So I am about 5'9", and I have this much space to stand right here. But why do I like it so much? It really offers such a unique area down here. And from what the owner told me, that they use this as actually a secondary bedroom. They also use it as a little like fort. The owner was telling me how much she feels like she's a kid at heart, and this is kind of like a little fort down here. This comes out to a whole nother bed, and right back here is some more storage if you have some guests or whatever it is. I also found out that they're actually not using this as an Airbnb, because where they are in the Portland area, you're not allowed to use this as an Airbnb. So I just have it kind of parked in here, and that's why, one of the reasons why they're looking to sell it. So you have to check with the county that you're in if you were allowed to put this on property, or maybe it really comes down to the county, because in the state of Oregon, they're very ADU friendly. All right, just a few stairs here to obviously get up into the upper platform. Underneath the stairs is some storage. There is a handrail right here on the side to help yourself or assist yourself coming upstairs. Now, I am going to turn the camera, so as you guys can see, I am standing up straight. I already talked about me being 5'9", maybe 5'8", depending on how I'm feeling that day, or if I did my yoga. I, again, can stand up straight just fine up here. It is really cool that you can do that. This is technically a living room space, I guess you could call it, but also used as a bed space, where this can obviously turn into a bedroom. So it depends on kind of how you want to lay this all out. There are means of egresses here. This window is a means of egress. I guess the only thing I would probably change up here is maybe to add maybe a small railing right here, so I don't like fall over there. It isn't a big deal. And then one of the coolest things here is this thing right here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed, which I just did. And now that becomes a full-on table, whether it's a kitchen table that you want to use, or maybe a workstation table. There is your table. By the way, everybody, I did that all one-handed because I'm holding the camera in the other hand. Lastly, before we get back downstairs, you can actually get a really good look at the upper loft there. Definitely see there's a massive human dog bed, apparently, or some sort of large dog bed, but I think it's called like a human dog bed. I think actually that's what it's called. All in all, this tiny house is absolutely fantastic. I love the design of it. I love how the feel of it. I love the way that she kind of curated it into the space that it is. It actually gives a very Portland vibe to it. From my understanding, it is a timber frame. For people that don't know, it's a wood frame construction, not a metal frame. So wood framing. In the insulation, she was actually unaware of, but I'm assuming it's a standard home insulation. I shouldn't assume, because there might be a green-friendly product in there that I'm just unaware of. For the price point that it is at, which is in the high 60s, you could have this as an amazing ADU Airbnb property if you choose to, or you could even live out of this full time. I think Glacier would be okay with it because it would have stairs for her, even though she might try and do a little jumpity. Well, you never know with my dog. How I would probably set this up is I would actually probably have the designated sleeping area down underneath and have a living room and a work area up above. Use the loft up here as storage loft, so I would be able to separate my spaces kind of nicely. Now, when I was in architecture school, they talked a lot about small space design. We actually talked about how to separate space in a small space without putting up walls, having open floor plans. And this is a perfect example of that, because It is a massive open floor plan. The only wall that is in here is separating the bathroom from the rest of the house. One of the things that we talked about in school was elevating floors. So this is a perfect example of that, where this is an elevated floor with storage or space underneath. The other way that you could do it is by dropping ceiling. But in a tiny house, if you drop the ceiling, you are kind of restricting yourself from having that sort of a space, I guess you could say. Elevating the floor now separates this, 8x8 or 10x8 area, 10 feet going this way, 8 going across. I think it's probably right around that on my tape measure on me. But if I had to guess, it's about 10x8. So you're looking at this 80 square foot space, making 2 of them fit a lot of different rooms into a 24-foot space. Now, people may want to rip apart in the comments that you have to fix this or fix that. Those are all cosmetic things. Look past the cosmetics and look at the bones when you are looking for your tiny house, or if you're looking to design and build your own. All in all, the construction is good. I believe that they're using propane for the water heater. They have tanks that are able to hook up for any sewer water or anything like that. And you have a hookup for bringing fresh water in as well. You definitely want to stay tuned for future videos, because on this channel at Live Small and Roam Free, we're going to talk a lot more about tiny homes, micro apartments, container homes, and so forth, Airbnbs potentially. We're going to try to go into a lot more of the design and why, not so much of like, hey, this is what it looks like. We're gonna actually ask owners why they did certain things, whether it's pointed in a certain direction, north, south, east, west, why windows are placed where they are, etc., and so forth. And then we'll always show vans here as well. We're going to be showing the vans, the trucks, and the expedition trucks. Stay tuned for all of that in this channel for a long time to come. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and definitely share with your friends that might be interested. We'll see you guys next time.